2 years later, I was training for the Portland Marathon, and I was running, best shape of my life, and had a heart attack. Should have killed me in the first 6 minutes, and I passed away in the emergency room for a minute and a half. And yeah, it was, I mean, I think, like I mentioned to you, it's still kind of hard to talk about, you know, because it's beyond words. Within seconds, they had me in the emergency room, and they were cutting my running clothes off. And I was like, what's going on? You know, they're going, sir, you're having a heart attack. And at that point, I remember going into the emergency room, kind of. I remember them cutting off my running clothes because I just got them, and they were, yeah, some of my favorites. But, and then, you know, I didn't have like the hovering over my own body experience, but I did experience, you know, the cliche, the light, so much warmth and, you know, just love, and a feeling like I've never felt before, and I couldn't explain it if I had to. But what really makes my situation unique is, so my mother passed away 3 years on that same day, 3 years prior, from brain cancer. And I saw my mom as plain as day, as young and beautiful and full of life, and had told me that it wasn't my time. And I'm told that, you know, my cardiac arrest lasted a minute and a half. I do kind of remember the paddles, just how that felt. But, you know, it's that the time on the other side was like timeless. It was like, it seemed like an eternity, but it didn't seem like an eternity. The last thing I remember was literally the next day waking up in the you know, ICU, and just literally being in awe for probably 5 minutes that, one, I was still alive, and two, I think we're all the same. Well, I'm no longer scared to die, for sure. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. It's more love than I've felt ever. And I have kids and have a great relationship and have lots of love and great friendships around me, but that is different. It is like just beyond words different. And I hate to sound, you know, I keep saying the same thing over and over, but it is different. But when I say bright light, I mean, I'm talking bright light, brighter than you could even imagine. Anything brighter than anything you've ever seen on earth, but not that it would blind you. You know, you could look at it and it was not blinding, but it was brighter than I could ever, anything I've ever seen on earth. I mean, look straight into the sun, it's brighter than that, but it wasn't blinding. I don't know. That's the best way to explain it. And I didn't see any, you know, life flashing before my eyes, or any, you know, not even my kids or anything. I literally saw my mom only, and the super bright white light, and, you know, kind of like a marble color around my mom's aura. But that's really all I saw. You know, I can see it in my mind's eye. And, you know, they were, you know, I was on a gurney and they were wheeling me out when I'm like, hey, what's going on? And they're going, sir, you're having a heart attack. And I just remember the last thing I said was, oh, damn, I don't want to die today. And the next thing I know, I'm, you know, in the ICU in recovery the next day. But, you know, I'm off in heaven, or wherever you want to call it, where it seemed like that whole time. You know, death is certainly nothing to be scared of. And, you know, beyond that, who knows? I mean, I'm believing that it's something really beautiful. You know, it can't be all there is. It can't be. I sometimes think and dream that, you know, okay, so I died for a little bit and I came back, so I can, you know, I sampled it. But what's beyond? If, you know, what's totally beyond? And, you know, I've had a lot of loved ones die in my life, and I used to, you know, be pretty sad about that. But I don't know that that's something to be totally sad about anymore, you know, because it was, you know, especially like in the case of my mom, she was suffering, and, you know, she's not suffering. I saw her. You know, when you know, people say, oh, well, you'll see him again. Well, that's true for me. I saw my mom. I mean, just as if she was standing right in front of me today. It was as real could be. So, I hope that that's really true, and I get to hang out with all the people that I, truly miss.